Okay, so you guys know that I've been having an issue with getting my stove to simmer, my little beer can stove that I use with my canteen cup rig. It's very hard cutting this thing down because when these alcohol stoves are burning, they're going from like 0 to 100 and then back to 0. There's no way to cut the temperature down by like 50%. But I think I may have found a way to do it. So let me show you what I'm thinking about. Okay, so here's the deal. I had to draw some inspiration from my Lixada burner, okay, which has the simmer ring on it. And all the simmer ring does is it just puts this ring over the burner jets, and then you can adjust it however you want it to, okay? Now I know everybody's screaming at the camera going, Matt, you're an idiot. Why aren't you using a Lixada burner? It don't really fit too well under the canteen cup stove. So I drew a little bit of inspiration from it because there's a little space about 1/8 of an inch between the top of the simmer ring and the top of the jets. So I started thinking, how can I do this? So I cut out the top of another Bud Light can, okay, put it on there. This is just a Bud Light can with the top cut out. And you can set it on there and it covers the burners and it only lets the middle burn. Alcohol stoves only need 3 things. They need oxygen, they need fire, and they need fuel. The only thing you're doing when you cut off the outside jets is you're cutting off half of the flame. So this works, but there's no airspace between the top of the jets and the bottom of this ring. So I cut a little bit bigger one. Now there's a little bit of space, and this one works pretty good. The only problem is that it doesn't let quite enough air in, and it kind of pops, like the stove's trying to go out. So I looked around the garage, and I had the bottom of an old bean can, so I cut the top of that one out. Bam! It goes right over, and it gives me a perfect 1/8 of an inch space between the top of the jets and the top of this can, okay? My next question was, does it fit in the stove? Yes, barely, okay? Now, how are you gonna get that in there? You're either gonna start with it like that, or you're gonna start with it like this, flamethrower, take that over, get your gloves, take this off, pow, put that over, put that back over. Now you're simmering, okay? Because you can't get this on there when the jets are coming out like a flamethrower. You can't put your hand on, even if you got gloves on, it doesn't fit. If you're going to do this one, you can't put your hand over there and drop it on there. The fix would be carry a multi-tool with some needle nose on it. Then you can get it right in there. That's a solution for this one, okay? You're far enough away from the flame, get on there, far enough away from the flame that your hands aren't going to get burned up. So let's light this up and see how both of these are going to work. Okay, so here we are with my exact setup in the woods. That took about 3 minutes to violently boil, and it's violently boiling. And, I can still grab these. So the question is, how are we going to get this on there? Man, that's hot. This is where the multi-tool comes in to play. It's still kind of hot, and it's still not that great, but you can do it. Ow. It's not that great. But what it does is, when you get it on and over the burners, it kind of cuts the burners off. So now, when you put the water back on, it's boiling, but it's not violently boiling. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it was hard rolling boil. Now it's kind of simmering. That's not bad, okay? It's definitely getting easier getting out than it was getting in, unless you do something stupid like that. Okay. Okay. Now, if we want to use the other one, here's what we can do. Because there's no way this is going over there with those burners lit. Put on your gloves. That's going to be hot. Put that right over there. Put that back over. Sometimes, and that's the problem, it doesn't exactly fit. Okay. I didn't say this was perfect, but it works. Now, when we put this back on, we got to simmer again. Okay. This actually is a little bit less of a boil. That works really, really well. Now, okay, that is totally good. That's a totally good simmer. And if you really wanted to, you could take this off. Okay, just grab it, take it off. You know, take the can off, put the stove back on. This guy is going to come back to, the jets are going to turn on again, and now we're going to easily come right back to a hard rolling boil in just a minute. You'll see that it's almost there right now. Now we come back to a violent boil. Woo! Now that's not a simmer, dude. Okay, let's go up and talk about what we learned today. Okay, I thought this was a pretty interesting exercise. And this is a really good way to get a simmer ring for your beer can stove. This one's a little harder to get on and off. I think the bean can with the cutout and it goes right down over the stove makes a lot more sense. This one gives a lot lower simmer. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the airspace between the top of the burner jets and the bottom of the can. This gives you like 1/8 of an inch airspace. But you guys can see that when this thing gets going, it is a flamethrower. But there we go. A couple of items to never be without. Remember, always remember your multi-tool, and always remember your gloves. Man, you'll burn your hands up if you don't have your gloves. Multi-tool, you can use it for anything and all. And here's our canteen cup stove and our canteen cup rig. So I thought that was pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think. We got the bean can and we got the top of the beer can. Both of them work. I think that this one worked a little bit better. So if you liked this video and you want to see more content like this, please leave me a thumbs up on this video and drop me a comment below and tell me what you think of my solution to a non-existent problem: how to get a beer can stove to simmer. Once again, this is Matthew Floor Boy, and I will see you on the trail.